Well, folks, unless it's a really close one this time tomorrow night, we should know who's going to be leading Kentucky as the next governor. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us here just a little bit late on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. Andy Beshear and Daniel Cameron not taking any chances, campaigning into the evening tonight. Cameron holding a telephone rally with former President Donald Trump as well, talking to supporters. Our senior reporter, Isaiah Kim Martinez, and photojournalist Addie Hill are covering the down-to-the-wire campaigning in Louisville. And Isaiah, did you pick up any changes in their messages tonight?
Well, Doug, both the man vying for re-election and the challenger looking to unseat him stayed consistent with their campaign priorities tonight. Andy Beshear saying the state's winning right now, and he's looking to continue that momentum, while Daniel Cameron insisting the governor's ties to the president and his influence on this state is moving it in the wrong direction. In his final Get Out the Vote rally before Tuesday's election, Kentucky's governor telling voters to trust his track record.
I run as a proud Democrat, but you saw the moment I won. I took that hat off and I served every single family.
Andy Beshear spent much of the day in eastern Kentucky, but concluded his campaign efforts at a brewery just east of downtown Louisville.
It's time for us to recognize that a good job isn't Democrat or Republican, a new bridge isn't red or blue, that clean drinking water is a basic human right.
Throughout his campaign, Beshear has focused on the accomplishments of his tenure. That includes billions in new economic investment, the legalization of sports betting and medical marijuana, and what his team calls steady leadership through the COVID-19 pandemic and natural disasters. Meanwhile, earlier Monday afternoon, Kentucky's Attorney General also making a final stop in the state's largest city for a news conference.
And I'm confident that come tomorrow, I'm going to win this race.
Republican Daniel Cameron once again nationalizing the race, tying Governor Beshear to President Joe Biden, blaming them for high inflation and other strains on Kentuckians' wallets.
And this governor and this president, Joe Biden, Andy Beshear, there's not a dime's bit of difference between them. They both embrace economic policies that are not good for Kentuckians.
Former President Donald Trump voicing support for Cameron in a voter rally over the phone Monday night.
A vote for Daniel Cameron is a vote for Trump, and it's a vote against Biden, and it's a vote to save the state of Kentucky and the great Commonwealth of Kentucky from Beshear.
Now, aside from the White House, I asked Cameron what he feels is the biggest issue separating him and Beshear.
There's parents and grandparents that acknowledge and recognize that their kids have had significant learning loss. But the governor has no plan to address that learning loss.
I posed that same question to the incumbent.
When you're running, you have to talk about your record and what you want to do, how you want to work to make a family's life better. My opponent is just attacked, and that's not how you lead.
A high-stakes election comes down to Tuesday night.
Well, Isaiah, here's why I think it's going to be so exciting tomorrow. It's really going to come down to voter turnout, even outside Louisville, and some key counties that Andy Beshear took from the Republicans in 2019. Like, let's talk Bowling Green and Warren County, Kentucky, where he won by only 1,000 votes.
Slim, just over 1,000, Doug. The political analysts we've talked to have mentioned a few counties, not just Warren in western Kentucky, but you have ones like Kenton County in northern Kentucky that was just 100 or a few hundred votes that separated Beshear from Matt Bevin back in 2019. And then you have some other ones like Scott and Madison County, kind of away from the radar, off the radar a little bit, but there was just a slim margin of victory in 2019. So, of course, Republicans are looking at those as key wins.
We were looking. Scott County, right outside Lexington, Andy Beshear won by 97 votes in 2019. So
it's going to be close.
That's why those analysts are looking outside the metro areas as well. All right. Isaiah will be at Governor Andy Beshear's headquarters tomorrow night. Kentucky Secretary of State Michael Adams reports more than 260,000 Kentuckians took advantage of early voting from last Thursday through Saturday. Now, that's an increase of more than 7,000 voters, early voters from 2022. Absentee votes were down, though, so Michael Adams is predicting turnout will be around last year's 42%. You will see the first election results, of course, tomorrow on WHAS 11 News at 6. And then join us for our live one-hour election special report at 7. As the polls close in western Kentucky, you'll see more totals rolling in. We're going to be joined by the best election analysts in town. And then you can also watch our digital platforms at 8 and 9 p.m. with more coverage. And then join me here at 11 with the biggest team at night, the WHAS 11 night team. We're going to have reaction to what surely will be an exciting evening. It's Election Day on WHAS 11. All new right now in the WHAS11 team, a Jefferson County school bus driver is preparing to pick up and drop off her last group of kids this week. It comes on the same day that the school district had to cancel more than 100 bus routes after 143 drivers called out this morning. In an update tonight, JCPS says initial reports show that an additional 13,000 students were absent from schools today compared to absences last Monday. The district says all students, by the way, were dropped off tonight by 10 minutes after 7. WHAS11 team's Alex Dieterer is talking with the driver ahead of her last day. She explains her final straw and a special note from a student that brought her to tears.
First sentence is what really got me.
On Monday morning, Monique Parker did what she's been doing for the past 10 years as a JCPS bus driver. She went on her bus routes, but was handed a surprise. She was given a letter from one of her kids. 5 sentences, the first one bringing tears to Parker's eyes.
I just want to thank you for not giving up on us.
It's been an unprecedented year for JCPS transportation.
You are a huge help to all the kids you pick up.
Starting in August, when students weren't getting home until after 9. Monday, 25% of bus drivers called out because of working conditions, including poor student discipline and long routes. JCPS spokesperson Carolyn Callahan addressed the concerns Monday afternoon.
We know that routes are long. Bus drivers know that we are continuing to work on reducing those routes and making changes in the transportation system. These are not things that can be done overnight.
That's why Parker's last day as a JCPS bus driver will be Friday.
Driving the bus this past year has been extremely taxing.
While Parker has not participated in the callouts,
I do stand with my fellow bus drivers. I know it's hard.
She's decided to transition to another role within JCPS as school security, a role she says gives her more time to connect with the students.
I'm not giving up on anybody. We're not giving up on anybody. All the bus drivers, we're not giving up on anybody. All at JCPS, we're not giving up on anybody.
She hopes for a calmer rest of the school year.
I think we've had enough bumps and bruises. I think it's time for a smooth ride.
And a better opportunity to get back to what she loves. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer, WHAS11 Night Team on your side.
A reminder, by the way, there is no school tomorrow because it is Election Day. As you know, the school buildings are used as voting sites, so parents are going to have to wait until Wednesday to see if their kids will be impacted by any more possible bus driver call-outs. One of the 2 women accused in the death of 5-year-old Cairo Jordan Dawn Coleman has pleaded guilty. The little boy's death shocked the community of Washington County, Indiana, when he was found stuffed into a suitcase and left in the woods. According to court records, Coleman entered a guilty plea, an agreement just last Friday. Police say she helped Jordan's mother dispose of his body. We're still working to get the exact details of the agreement, but we do know that her sentencing is scheduled for November 21st. Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, on the stand today in the federal trial for former LMPD officer Brett Hankison. Walker became emotional as he told the jury about the night Breonna was shot and killed. He testified that they were awakened by 3 bangs at the door that night. He said officers did not identify themselves, but defense attorneys have said they did. Walker testified that he thought it was Taylor's ex-boyfriend breaking in, so he fired towards the ground to scare him off. And that's when officers returned fire, hitting Taylor. During cross-examination, the defense showed footage of Walker getting arrested. In the video, he told officers Taylor fired the gun, but testified today that he said to stay alive, and later told officers the truth. Prosecutors plan to finish calling their witnesses by next Monday. All new on the night team. Well, there is 1 black seat in section 106 at the KFC Yum Center tonight, and it's on purpose to stand out for the man who sat right here watching Cardinal basketball games, the late Hall of Famer, Coach Denny Crumb. You could say he was the 6th man in a thriller tonight as the team won their first regular season game by 1 point. WHAS11 Night Team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie are talking to Denny's wife, Susan Sweeney Crumb.
U of L fans and former coaches gathered for a night of celebration, the Cards' opening night, and to honor the late Denny Crumb, who led this team to several championships.
A lasting tribute to the great Denny Crumb.
He would sit in that chair and just watch. He would clap when there was a good play or but he mostly you know, he's watching.
Quietly following everything that happened during the game, Susan Sweeney Crumb says her late husband, Denny Crumb, enjoyed being a spectator like most fans in the stands.
I'm grateful for the love they have for Denny. I'm grateful for the friendships that I made because of him and the people that we've gotten to know come to the games.
Sitting in this seat, section 106, U of L has turned it black. It will stand out in honor of Crumb with his name on it.
I know if he's watching up there and he's probably a little embarrassed.
Cardinal fans from near and far captured this special moment with their phones. Joe Patley remembers staying up late just to watch the game.
Just to know what he meant to the city of Louisville and all his fans, and how much he cared for the passion and excitement that we brought. It was nice to see this.
Former coach Larry Gay says his fondest memories include being on the road recruiting top players with Crumb.
He has done such a good job bringing kids in here from all over the country.
Fans like Gary Spence will never forget the iconic moments Crumb did while pacing up and down the court.
I remember Denny walking up and down the sideline with his rolled-up program.
It's an honor for Michael Caldwell Jr., who has watched U of L since a baby. He sat just feet away from the special seat.
I'm glad that they're gonna, we can always look at this and feel like he's here and he's watching over us.
Caldwell says now is the time to stand behind Coach Kenny Payne and the entire team.
We've been through a lot of trying times with a lot of different coaches and things like that, but still come out and support.
Hoping this season will be better than last year.
I want to thank all of U of L.
In Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
Wearing, by the way, special patches of Crumb's iconic red jacket, the Cardinals won a close one in their first official game of the season. You're going to hear from Coach Kenny Payne after that game coming up. Plus,